Hey, welcome to Sopranos Prima Volta. Of course, the only show where myself, Sam Roberts, and Ian Fidance watch The Sopranos together. For me, I've seen the show many, many, many times. But for Ian Fidance, this is your Prima Volta.
Prima Volta.
Prima Volta.
First time.
Yes, but I feel like we've gotten to a point in the show where, season 4, episode 7 is what we're up to. We're officially past the halfway point of season 4. We go, what is it, 7 seasons? So we're well past the halfway point of the show itself. Do you feel like you've got a strong handle on this now? You must not feel like a rookie here anymore.
No rookie, even though it is my Prima Volta. But I am kind of a rookie because it is my Prima Volta, but I got called up to the big leagues for a reason.
Well, you've never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
No. That's a quote from the show.
I don't think we've gotten there yet.
No, we haven't, but people have quoted that to me, and I go, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sopranos.
And that is one of the only spoilers I've gotten. So thank you guys for no spoilers. I know the show came out 50 years ago, and I'm late to the party, but it's still a party, and I don't want any spoilers, so thank you. And also thank you for digging the show, coming out to shows, commenting, subscribing, liking. It is important. It does help. And it helps with the algorithm and my algorithm of making me feel good.
And I will say that people could say that you're late to the party, but the party is now because this is the Prima Volta.
And this is the party.
Exactly.
And
so you're not late at all.
No.
You're right on time.
I'm on time.
You didn't miss a flight to get here. You're right on time.
That's right. And I'm dancing the night away at this party.
I think at some point we're all dancing the night away.
Yeah.
I want to give credit, actually. Now that we talk about dancing the night away, I reposted it on my Instagram stories. But one of the great commentatores sent me a video. Elisa Salvatore.
Salvatore.
She did a video of impressions of all the women of The Sopranos.
No way.
It was so funny. Her Ro impression was probably my
love
favorite.
Ro.
Okay, let me see if this will...
Manicat.
This will do the trick. Hang on, Alyssa. Okay.
Come on,
all right,
Alyssa.
Sounds on now. Okay, this should do the trick.
You talk about this crap like it's science, Tony.
I love you, Christopher.
Jesus Christ, Calm. What are you gonna do? Oh my God, Dad, that is so racist.
Oh my.
She's great,
Dude,
right?
wait, she's a fan of our show?
I got it in my DMs.
Or she
said, for you guys.
Or is it someone that sent that video, or is it someone that made that video?
No.
Dude, send that to me.
Her.
We got to blast it out. And you know what she deserves? That is fucking awesome. You know what she deserves?
What's that?
And maybe you could give it to her. A thing of Whitman's.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is Alyssa's.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll put it on the desk for now.
Yes. Give that to Alyssa.
Okay, great.
Alyssa,
right.
if you can get your info, get it to us. You are pretty hot, so I may hit you up to be my Gumar. That's a whole nother story.
What? I thought you weren't doing the Gumar thing.
Well, the show's evolving. I'm evolving. But,
even last week it was... Yeah, with Carmela, Adriana, and she was Charmaine. Is she Artie?
Who's Artie?
Because I thought...
We'll get into it later. Look, I gave you a thing of Whitman's to give to Alyssa. We appreciate the video. That is awesome. But I can't come to Santriali's without giving you a little something.
No, not...
I padded the envelope this week.
No, you didn't have... Oh, my God.
I got you a thing of Whitman's.
The sampler.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so not... Oh, look at that orange cream.
Orange cream.
Oh, that's so... I don't want to block Big Mouth
there it
Billy.
is.
Let's...
Yep.
I don't want it to
That's perfect.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, that looks really good, actually. That looks really nice.
Yeah. And we should work on a Whitman sponsorship. And if we'd like another sponsorship, this is Galavanina Italian Sparkling Mineral Water.
The problem with the Whitman sponsorship is my pitch was we're going to post your product and your logo on our show for free every week. So can we have some money? And they went, what will we give you the money for? And I'm like, showing the product off. And they said, you'll do that for free. I said, well, yeah.
Wait, did you legit talk to them?
I mean, no.
Oh.
No, of course not.
We should.
We should. If anybody's going to sponsor, I feel like you know what would be nice? A neon Whitman sign. And Sam Trioli's could become the Whitman studio.
We need a neon Sam Trioli sign sponsored by Whitman's. And you know how we're going to get it?
No.
Alyssa, call up Whitman's with all your different voices and make her think there is a demand from multiple angry Italian women.
I think if Roe called up Whitman's.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Roe gets shit done.
Roe gets shit done.
Yeah.
Except saving her son.
And husband. I mean, the big C took her husband. Oh, yeah. What was... Yeah,
Jackie died.
Jackie Jr. died, and she lost her boyfriend, Ralphie, to Janice.
And she lost her husband to cancer.
So she doesn't... But I'll tell you what, that one woman did just eat her man a cunt and mind her own business.
Yeah, and if anything, Roe needs some fucking Whitmans. She's got a real tough life going on right now.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough right now, but it's tough. I mean, and Carmela's being exposed to that. Carmela's more and more worried about that. You know, the realization that as everything around her is changing and everybody around her is changing, that this is, I feel like for Carmela, as this season progresses, the idea that she's going to end up like this is becoming less of a risk and more of an inevitability.
And can I add to that? May I?
Yes.
A salute. You can see it in her face. Like, she is becoming more and more worn, and that like bright, bubbly. I'm noticing that I hate to use like new age terms, but she's like losing her agency. She's losing that kind of indomitable spirit that she had in the earlier seasons of being like a tough matriarch of the house. And it seems like her role has kind of just backslid to these she's coming off like weaker, I think, as the show goes on, because she's getting beaten down by life. And by the reality of what her life has become.
Yeah, and I think that it becomes more difficult to lie to yourself about what's going on when your husband's the boss. Like, I think that's the big thing about this show, is that the reason why when we started the show, Carm had theoretically been a part of this thing for years and years and years, and it didn't feel like that much damage had been done. But I think that that's because Tony wasn't the boss. And I think that the stress of being the boss and the reality of what that is, and the fact that Tony does not handle being the boss very well, comes home.
Yeah.
And
also she's paying the costs for him to be the boss.
He's not really paying the cost. Yeah, you're right. She pays the cost to be married to the boss.
And on top of that, my question is, you know, you're swimming upstream like a salmon, and you're going to get eaten by the bear. So why don't you swim downstream like a delicious halibut? Why doesn't she just embrace it? Why doesn't she just go, this is my life, this is what it is. I'm just going to, instead of trying to deny it and be this oblivious whatever, like, why doesn't she just like really embrace the mob wife lifestyle and, you know, live her best mob wife life?
That probably would be the healthier thing to do.
Yes.
But
it seems so mentally taxing for her to play these like mental gymnastics and act like this innocent woman that doesn't know what's going on. It's like, bitch, you know what's going on. Fucking be a boss.
But it would stop her from being a good Catholic.
That's not real.
I know it's not real, but it's the thing. Like, Catholicism, I feel like, is how she's defined her morality. So the her own moral compass goes back to Catholicism and the church and being a quote unquote good person. And so she can't break herself from that, because the idea of being a bad person is wrong to her, even though she's got to live in a lie, so she doesn't admit that to herself.
It's like eating her alive.
Yeah.
In the first couple seasons, she fucking lays a smackdown on Father and Tintola. She says her piece and becomes a boss bitch at Livia's wake. You know, she goes and intimidates that lawyer so that she can get Meadow into Columbia. She's making moves. She knows who she is, and she's, really putting her foot down and being like this, like, badass person. And now she's just getting so worn and beaten down that every scene with her, she just comes across as like kind of almost like sniveling and weak, I feel. She's just allowing things to get to her. And you can like see it in her face and in like the coloring of her scenes.
Yeah.
You can see that she is not happy. And I want so desperately for her to take the reins back and own her shit and really like, I want to see her smack Tony around. Yeah, I want to see her take aspects of each Gumar and be a transformer of one powerful wife Gumar and give Tony everything he wants.
Like a Megazord of all of Tony's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like give it to him back like Gloria and, ride his dick like Rena and give him the maternal love like Carm. And who was the other one that he had?
Well, I think ultimately, this is an Oedipal show. Like, I think the theme is that on some level, Tony wants to have sex with his mom.
No.
I mean, every
woman.
He
has issues with his mom, but he doesn't want to have sex with his mom.
Then how come all the women that he's with have the same problems that his mom had?
Well, it's more psychological than physical. He doesn't want to, like, physically have sex with his mom.
Well, Sigmund Freud thought that it all related back to everybody wanting to have sex with their moms.
I thought...
Now, maybe Freud wanted to have sex with his mom, and that was why.
Yeah, I know.
Like, maybe that was
clearly.
Maybe that was just Freud.
Yeah, you guys want to do that too, right? Right?
And then everybody was like, no, dude.
No, Freud.
And then he went so far, and he got his degree, and he became the top therapist ever.
Yeah.
And then once he got all that power, he was like... See, you all want to have sex with your moms and you don't know it.
Yeah.
And everybody was like,
he was the original
so.
MILF hunter.
Yeah, but it was his own mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my mom that I'd like to. And they're like, that's not what that means.
Also, it's like, dude, you're Freud. You know everything about psychology. Just psychologically manipulate your mom into having sex with her. Do it and then move on, pal.
Yeah, maybe if you just had sex with your mom, you wouldn't be so obsessed with her.
Dude.
Maybe if Freud had just had sex with his mom, you wouldn't think we all want to have sex with our moms.
Exactly. Quit projecting and fucking do the deal, coward.
No, that's a Freudian slip. Oh, you mean I said something that I meant? No, you want to have sex with your mom. What?
Yeah.
What?
No, he wants to Freudian slip it in his own mother.
Yeah. No, that's not the rest of us. Like, we have issues, but it's not sexual. Freud's like, I don't know.
I mean... Oh, when it's all said and done, he's right.
What?
What? No, about Tony. We'll be back after this.
I don't know how they do things in Delaware, but this episode, okay. This is season 4, episode 7, Watching Too Much Television. Now, this isn't, I don't feel like this specific episode, the Carmela conversation is more leading up to this episode.
Mm-hmm.
This specific episode, I don't think is weak Carmela heavy. If anything... To me...
We see her getting chipped away.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And we see the larger scenario that is doing all of this to her, which is the Furio situation.
Yes.
What I was disappointed by was the fact that you got this guy, Furio, right? And he comes over from Italy, and Tony loves him for his loyalty, and he's knocking kids over because they're lighting off firecrackers, and he's going... to Jersey, and he's going to massage parlors and punching ladies in the face and just doing everything a good soldier could possibly do. And now, this guy is so head over heels that he's calling Carm.
Crying, hiding his own sunglasses. Furio, get it together.
That's what I'm saying. He's calling Carm on the phone. Obviously... doing that thing where he's stepping way too close to the line that we've all done in various situations.
Yep.
But then the next day, he won't go in the house because he knows what he did the night before.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, get a hold of yourself. You're not in high school. You're Furio, for God's sake. You got to be on your hat. That's you.
Furio.
Not this guy.
Furio is making me furious.
I mean, it's like every character on this show you think you can count on. And then they do something so insanely flawed that you're like, you want to smack him in the face and say, you got the whole world at your fingertips. Just get it together.
That's why I think I have now figured out my favorite character. And I think it's Corrado.
June is your favorite character?
I think so, because he's just such a curmudgeon. He's old now. He keeps messing up, but nothing like, he made his mistakes of trying to get his nephew killed, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's just such a goofy character now that I don't have so much invested in him of hoping for the best and him letting me down anymore.
Plus, it's almost like he's so out of touch now that he's harmless.
Yes.
Like he can't do any bad.
Yes. He is
because he doesn't know what's going on.
He is now my favorite character because I don't feel a pull to him to be emotionally invested in his wellness. I mean, I want his health to be okay, but he's such a secondary character now that he's almost become like a comic relief cartoon. And I can get on board with that because I'm not invested in him enough to be disappointed in his behavior.
Okay, lastly,
and also kind of just say he's not so overblown over the top, a nefarious character like Janice that every time they're on screen I get sick because they're a fat snake pig.
Wait. You don't like Janice?
Have I told you I don't like Janice? I don't like.
You don't like Janice?
I don't think I like Janice.
News to me.
Yeah. I think I just decided.
Last week you said you were skiing in Utah. Because now I'm curious. Because now I'm like, okay, maybe we figured out what character you are.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're Junior.
Wow.
Right? So you're skiing in Utah.
Fit check.
Right. You're skiing in Utah. In the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
It's you, Ari Shaffir, Mark Normand.
Yes.
Shane Gillis.
Yes.
Who else?
Steve Ranazizi.
And
Ryan O'Neal. Yes. The bros. The family.
Let's name them all.
What?
Everyone who is who on the show.
Wow.
Let's give all them characters. It feels like you're Uncle June. Is that fair? Or is that off? Of that group of 6. Not in all of life.
Well, I feel like in that group, Ari would be Tony because
I was gonna say
Ari planned everything and put it together, brought everyone together. We wouldn't have been there without Ari.
Right. And Tony couldn't be trusted on Twitter either.
No. And Tony loves confrontation. Yes.
And sometimes it's like Tony's like Tony will do things and you go, did you just do that for a negative reaction? Like,
yeah.
What? There's no other feasible thing that can happen there.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ari is Tony.
Yes.
Let's see. Mark Normand. Are we thinking maybe Paulie Walnuts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Paulie Walnuts because he's
Not fresh out of jail, Paulie Walnuts. Not all the complications
not
of
Rat
this
with
episode.
Johnny,
right?
But just like such a reliably funny character.
Who's Syl?
Maybe Ryan O'Neal.
Okay,
because Ryan and Ari would go off and ski together.
Okay,
and maybe like have their little powwows, sit downs.
Okay, now.
I think Shane would be Ralph.
I was going to say, I think Shane Gillis might be Ralph.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we lined up there.
Yep.
Now.
Just like, so I love him so much, but man, does he have a pinch of evil about him.
Yeah. Just really just do things.
Can just tear you down in a heartbeat.
Right? Like that's so destructive, but I kind of want to be around him.
Oh,
he's got a charisma about him.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The best. And I think, also, I think, I hate to say it, but I do think Ralphie is one of my favorites on the show too.
And you really like Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
So then there you go.
Yeah. Wow, it makes sense.
And I don't know Ray Azizi very well.
Right.
I might have met him once or twice.
Uh-huh.
Could he be Christopher?
Who else are we missing from the trip?
You, pretty much. There's 6 of you total, right?
Right.
Yeah, so just you and Ray Azizi are left. And you're June. So Ray Azizi would either have to be Christopher or Bobby Bacala.
Huh. Yeah, I guess.
Or AJ.
Well.
Nobody wants to be AJ.
No.
It's the worst thing you could possibly be.
Maybe Meadow.
You think Ray Azizi might be Meadow?
Yeah, because in the hot tub, he look kind of hot without a shirt on.
Yeah, he walks around in that orange bathing suit. Okay, all right. I'll do Meadow.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Uh-huh.
That works for me. Well, so Furio needs to get it together, and then another person on this episode that is having a lot of trouble. and is still trying to figure out how they're going to survive this thing is our poor angel, Adriana.
Jesus.
The one person on the entire show that just doesn't deserve anything bad to happen to them. Adriana is trying to figure it all out. She proposes marriage to Christopher.
Because of a television show she sees where she thinks she can't testify because of a court because they're married.
Right. Christopher says yes.
And here's a line of the series so far.
On this episode? Because last episode he had great lines too when he's talking to Tony about, the 20th century and wise.
Yeah.
But what was the one from this episode?
When he goes, if you love me so much, stir my eggs.
What a piece of garbage.
Asshole.
Just
so oblivious.
no redeeming qualities.
And she tells him that they may not have kids. And she goes, my ovaries got pierced. And he goes, both of them? Or no, my uterus got pierced. And he goes, both of them? You stupid idiot.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he threatens to walk out on her when she tells him that. I mean, talk about
Because
somebody
she
not
can't have
being
kids.
there for
And it's
him.
like, motherfucker, should you even have kids? You're a full-blown heroin addict.
Yeah.
Gangster, murderer.
And idiot.
Yeah, moron.
There's nothing genetically in Christopher Moltisanti that I would think that should be passed on.
But also, like, man, I feel for him so hard because he's such a lost puppy, just like pulling at the tail of Tony and following him into these horrible situations. Like, he truly is like a lost, like, no wonder he's on drugs. His father was murdered. He grew up with this like father figure who's abusive and mean, and now he's putting like the whole world on his shoulders.
But he's also, he's just got this awful combination of wanting to be loved and will do anything for acceptance, but then this hugely inflated sense of self and entitlement.
Yeah.
That is just, you can't stand it. And so there's that's such a duality. That's such a dichotomy that like it can't be satiated. So he just ends up on this cycle like a dog chasing its tail.
Yes.
Just constantly.
I must be loyal to my capo.
But then, I mean, maybe the most pathetic scene is when Aid is trying on wedding dresses and she finds out that you can absolutely still be called to testify even if you're married, especially if it's over things that happened before you were married. And then she's trying on dresses and she's so depressed she doesn't even want to get married anymore. And she's got to try on these dumb dresses.
And she's just so over everything. Hates the fact that she's trying on dresses. Everyone's, complimenting her. And then, Carm is planning out the wedding. And then she says, doesn't Carm like bring Furio into it about like...
Well, you've been on had a crush on someone like probably in like 11th grade.
You bring them up in like the most weird scenarios.
Right, because you're thinking about them all the time.
Totally.
You just want to talk about them.
Totally.
But that's like high school.
Yeah. I mean, all these people are stunted developmentally.
That's true.
I mean, yeah. And so I love when she goes to see the private investigator or the lawyer, whoever that guy is, that again, that would be a role I would get. Just like the fucking, scummy investigator. And she's in the FDMY hat. I mean, Aid, what the fuck?
Terrible disguise.
I know.
What are you doing?
I know.
You just look like Adriana trying not to be seen. It's the most suspicious thing.
You're a firefighter wife now. Come on. And then she's at her baby shower and she could not want to be there less. So unimpressed with the gifts. And it's just so comical that all the women, they sound like the minions in Toy Story.
Yeah,
when they're on the thing.
in Despicable Me. Oh, the aliens.
The little minion guys.
Yeah, the alien guys, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
The cloud.
Yeah. They sound like that when she opens it. Woo! Don't cut it!
So what do you think, I mean, as of episode 7, how is Adriana going to find her way out of this mess that she's found herself into? And all because, and by the way, the whole reason she's in this mess is because she just wanted a friend. She's so starved for regular friendship that she gave her heart away to that horrible human being.
That cold bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
That ice cold icebox bitch.
Right.
Danielle.
Right, Danielle. How do you see her getting out of this?
She better marry Christopher quick.
She can still be called to testify.
She better pretend she's deaf.
Now, okay, this will be fun.
Uh-huh. Okay, the ski trip, but which one of them are women?
Let's say one of them has to go. Could you see a scenario where...
Wait, one of who has to go? What?
Could you see a scenario where Adriana gets out of this because Christopher has to go?
Wait, has to go where?
Same place Pussy had to
protection?
go.
Wait, so you're saying...
Who would you... I'm saying... Because, like, theoretically, right?
Okay, hold on. Okay.
If Christopher were not around anymore,
Mm-hmm.
Aid wouldn't have any problems. Like, what's it? That's... If Christopher weren't around, Aid doesn't have anybody to rat on.
Mm-hmm.
So she would serve no purpose anymore. So she
For the
may,
FBI.
Right. So she might be able to get off the hook of being a rat if that dude disappeared.
Right.
Would you rather, if I told you one of them had to disappear to make this go away,
Mm-hmm.
Adriana or Christopher?
Disappear as in death?
No. Ian, what did you just turn the show on? No, they're going to go on a nice vacation.
That'd be nice. I could see her in California or Florida. Fuck. You're trying to ask me who I would rather die, Christopher or Adriana?
I want to know right now, as of today.
I mean, dude.
I mean, I know neither. But it would be the quickest way out of this.
Wait, in regards to if this was real life or in regards to progressing the show forward?
You don't have to kill the actor. Like, I'm not asking you to murder the
No,
actor.
dummy. I'm talking about the Sopranos are real life characters. Tony Soprano exists in reality. Christopher Moltisanti exists in reality. Or who would I want to die off in regards to the show, which is a drama on HBO?
What's the difference? It's still fake.
Well, if you kill Christopher in the show,
Yeah.
you're losing a whole plot line that is, what, is Adriana going to last all the seasons? No, you got to kill Adriana in terms of the television show. But in real life...
I don't need you in a writer's room.
This
is a Prima Volta. I want your opinion as a fan, not as like
Sorry I'm going in depth. Sorry, I love the
Like-
show so much. I think about it in multi-dimensional, multi-santi ways.
I'm not industry like you are. I don't understand what you're talking about. Storylines, not me. I'm John Q. Public, okay?
Mhm.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, if you would let me finish, you motherless fuck.
You are Junior.
If these people were real people in real life and I could join their mafia
No, you're
and
not.
be best friends with them and commit crimes and help them have fun, I would say Adriana has to go because Christopher and I would be friends.
Okay, well, is there any way that this goes without somebody dying?
Yeah, I mean, really, what does Adriana have to testify against him?
That's a good point.
She knows nothing. She is useless. She gave them Paulie's suits or Patsy's suits. That's it. And also, she should shut her mouth and go, truly, I know nothing. Just keep your mouth shut.
So
What they catch her with a gram of cocaine?
So there is a version of this where this is just like this really stressful plot of this
Yes.
season, but ultimately
Yes, it
it's
goes
just
nowhere.
I mean, it's Tony's mom with the plane tickets. It's nothing.
Totally. Totally.
I like that scenario.
Yeah, that's how I think as a John Q. Pubic of the show.
Yeah. Well, we're both John Q. Pubics. Of course, we're seeing more business ventures. You know, Tony finds out about
I
a
mean,
little bit of property that's available.
Tony has sunk his scorpion tail deep into Brian.
I'm so glad you're there with me.
Oh my God. I mean, dude, this guy is just a fucking shark swimming around chum, waiting to just fucking latch his jaws on.
Okay.
And he's sorry.
Who
But
dies? Who dies first? Christopher, Adriana, Patsy, just because I'm throwing somebody in there, or Brian?
None of them. They all hang out together and,
In heaven.
join a softball team.
Or hell.
They all are friends forever.
You think Brian's going to survive?
Yeah, Brian's definitely going to survive.
Why do you think that?
Patsy will end up dying because he's, like a lovable character, but not too invested in any storylines. You can kill him off just to be like, oh, a guy.
I mean, they literally
for like drama.
They killed off Big Pussy.
Right.
They killed off Richie April.
Right.
Like they killed off Jackie Jr.
Right.
They kill off real characters.
But why would they kill off Brian? Oh, because Brian's going to get in trouble.
Remember Davey?
He might get too close.
Remember Davey? Sporting Goods Davey?
But
he didn't die, but he might as well. He's going to go kill himself in Vegas.
Yeah, but Brian's more of an asset than Davey was. Brian is an asset that Tony can use, have a parasitic relationship where he goes inside and just sucks every part of life out of him and then dump him later. Brian could get in trouble with some sort of financial dealing. Feds talk to him. They disappear Brian because he may rat.
You think Brian's going to end up being a rat?
I don't know. I hope not, because I do like the relationship between Brian and Tony.
Tony needs it.
Tony is totally turning Brian to the dark side.
What am I, a toxic person? Yeah.
And then
Yes,
Brian
you are.
says the good words, the famous nail in the coffin to himself, signing his death certificate in blood. You're a really good guy, Tony. That's all he needs to hear.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they're at lunch.
Vampire fangs.
Just his fangs sucking the life out of Brian, and he brings up HUD. And he goes, there's a lot of money and shit. And he goes, well, we're just talking here. And then Tony puts his little hawk eyes on it, 10 steps ahead. Bada bing, bada boom. What do you say? What do you know?
With Ralph,
what do you
too.
hear? What do you say? Him and Ralph. Boom. What do you know? Next day, I get a long meeting. They're in the steam room with Zellman and the other guy. What's the other guy's name?
I have it here, I think. Yeah, Assemblyman Zellman. Maurice Tiffin.
Yes.
I did love the scene when Zellman and Maurice were talking about how when they started,
They wanted to help and save.
they had all these principles,
Yep.
and like that's why they got into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But and it seems like that kind of starts to center everyone, and I think that's why the show works so well, because it's like, yeah, like Tony and everybody in the Soprano crime family are bad people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, even outside of the Soprano crime family,
There's bad people.
who's a good person?
Right. Melfi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But other than that, it's like everybody is committing mortal sins.
Right, but also this was the scene to me the most that was like intersectional with The Wire, I think,
Mm-hmm.
of like showing the inner workings of like the city and how just corrupt things are and how it is just no matter what all about money. HUD is to help other people, and it's like, no, that's getting exploited too. And they even
Yeah.
said it. They're like, people are going to get a line in their pockets. Might as well be us because someone else is going to do it.
Yeah, they literally use the group of kids that they're like, well, we're trying to get these gangbangers off the street.
To gangbang.
And they get those
in trouble.
gangbangers
Right.
to get the coke heads
Yeah.
out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So funny. But I love the interactions. Like, I love the cross-dimensional cultural interactions where it's like Tony, coming from this mob world, is looking for this level of respect from these like crackheads that have they wouldn't even know to have respect for like an organized crime family. So
Right.
when he's sitting there in the crackhead neighborhood,
Yeah.
talking to the crackheads, and they're like, "We don't give a fuck who you are. We're trying to get some drugs here."
Yeah, and he's talking to AJ about the history, and AJ's like, who gives a shit about Newark? Just like so oblivious.
Which, by the way, like, AJ is right.
Yeah.
You know, nobody cares.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, so that's a crack hoe. And then Tony's giving him, oh my God, what a line. Tony's giving him this speech about, Italian families travel from all over to come to this church. And he's like, well, how come we never do? And Tony's like, fuck you.
It's like, that's what I mean. That's what's so great about AJ, is because he's right.
Yeah.
But he doesn't even know that he's right. He's so oblivious and
Yeah.
just asking from such like an innocent place. Then why don't we?
Yeah. Well, AJ is the innocence that Carmela wishes she had.
Yes, and that maybe she did have at one point, but probably not.
Right.
She came up with Tony. She knew.
Yeah. But she strives for this innocence. And almost, is it innocence or ignorant? No, ignorance is the
I don't think she strives for ignorance. I think she'd be okay with ignorance.
she wishes she was ignorant,
so she could maintain
and
innocence.
she plays innocence. Yes.
Yeah, because you can be innocent if you're ignorant, but because she's not ignorant, then she knows she's not actually innocent.
And when they're in that bad neighborhood, they ignorant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Paulie's out of jail.
Paulie's out of jail. Cousin Brian, amazing. He goes, "You just got back from college?" And then immediately Paulie's asking for money. Immediately Tony puts him in his place. You know, I gave you a boost, and then, you know, who got you those no-shows? And then we see Paulie with Johnny Sack, and there's such a classic Paulie scene where he goes, "John, you and I meet. I tell you my problems. You tell me yours." Johnny has never told him a problem in his life. All he does is feed him lies. Carmine would be happy to hear that. Carmine is such a fan. Carmine, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, on this episode specifically,
Yeah.
he told Paulie what a fan of Paulie's Carmine is. You don't believe him?
No. Carmine barely even knows anything about Tony. You know, like, let alone Paulie. And Paulie is just so out of touch.
Yeah.
And yet again, putting his little fucking, you know, little rat claws together, trying to, I don't know what Paulie's goal is. Just either jump ship to New York or shut the fuck up. Like, what is he trying to do?
Well, I think he's trying to figure out what's best for him, but he's not a smart, like, he's not a big picture thinker. Paulie, I think, is very good at the little stuff, at the minutia, at the day-to-day, at the crime that's in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not a chess player, for God's sake.
No.
He's not this strategic guy. I mean, it is funny at his, like, welcome home party. It's almost like he doesn't want to be okay with Tony. Because at his welcome home party, Tony does. Everybody gives him money. Tony gives him money. Like, everybody, you know, makes it right.
He's just not happy.
Well, Paulie's still mad that Tony didn't visit him enough in jail. Tony didn't call him in jail.
Yeah, and it's like, he's like, you called me in jail. Johnny never called Paulie in jail. Paulie always called Johnny. And what the fuck do you want? You're getting phone calls from Tony? Are you insane? Tony's going to visit you? You guys got to act like you don't know each other.
That's, of course.
Like, what is Paulie doing? He's getting up in his feelings. He's
Emotional.
upset. He's getting emotional. He's getting upset that he's no longer the right-hand man, this guy, the other. He's not earning like Ralph. You know, Ralph, for all
He's
his
not earning
faults.
at all. He's been in jail.
Yeah. And he's just not smart.
Well, and it's one of those things, too, where I feel like he thinks that he's owed, he's got an entitlement thing. Goes the same thing with Christopher. He feels like he's owed a certain whatever
Yeah.
because of his tenure,
Yes.
because of how long he's been around.
Mm-hmm. And he's resting on his laurels.
He's resting on his laurels and doesn't feel the need to prove or earn his keep, which I think is detrimental in this line of work. So you really don't think Carmine is a fan of Paulie's?
I mean, Carmine is a fan of Paulie's like Janice is not a fat snake pig.
Janice is a fat snake pig.
Yeah.
That's bad news for Paulie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, unquestionably.
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And can I just say, a through line of this episode, obviously we haven't talked about it yet, is Tony, Zellman, and
I mean,
Irina.
that's coming.
I mean,
That's the final hit, I think, on this episode for me.
first of all, what is Zellman doing telling Tony?
I think, okay, so we find out that Zellman and Irina, the original Gumar,
Yeah.
the Russian Gumar, the one that really actually, like...
The one I'm praying for right now is Russia, Ukraine.
Me too.
Yeah.
Same. I hope Irina's okay. But
I hope Irina's friend, the one-legged wonder, is okay because she's the best.
I mean, let's be honest. If she's fighting on the Ukrainian side, the Ukrainians have nothing to worry about because she is a fighter.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Big
incredible.
Time. Big time.
I think the weird thing about Irina too is that even though she was Tony's Gumar. I mean, Tony obviously has this thing for younger women where he wants to be their caretaker. Like, he does see, same way he sees, I think he saw Meadow in the stripper that Ralphie beat up earlier this season. I think he sees Meadow in Irene, not when he's having sex with her. When he's having sex with her, he sees Irina.
Right.
But when he's not having sex with her, I think he, like,
being
a father of a daughter who's around the same age, he sees that. So, I mean, I think Zellman... I don't know. I think that he's like, well, if this is going to be a thing, Tony's going to find out anyway.
How's he going to find out?
I don't. Tony finds out. He's the boss.
Yeah,
and
but
he
it's
paid
like,
the cost.
This chick is over and done with. We haven't seen her forever. How in the fuck is he going to find out?
What if she calls him? She's crazy. She's called him before.
Does Zellman know that?
I don't know.
Zellman doesn't know that.
Look, Tony finds out. Tony finds out everything. And I think in Zellman's head, he's like, look, at some point, somehow, Tony is going to find out, maybe if I jump in front of this now and make sure it's all good, in case we're seen in public, in case whatever.
So you think Zellman is being like a solid bro to be like, hey, man, I know you had your thing, but I'm dating a gal. I really care for her. Or do you think Zellman's like, fuck you?
No, I think it's actually a third option. I think he's trying to protect himself. I think he's a little nervous because it's Tony. I don't think
protect himself how?
By saying like, look, maybe if I'm like a man about this and get in front of it, like if Tony just finds out on his own, then I'm fucked. So maybe if I get in front of this and maybe if I let Tony know and maybe I can judge it, and if he tells me to stop, I can just stop cold turkey, then maybe, he'll be cool with it.
Oh, I thought you meant protect in terms of Zellman is with Rena and because Zellman is now business partners with Tony, that could lead to some sort of bad news bears for Zellman. But if he's linked to someone Tony once cared about, Tony would take mercy on him in a way.
I think it's more direct. I think he's worried that if Tony finds out they're dating and Tony's not cool with it and Zellman didn't tell him, then Tony will fuck him up.
Gotcha.
But
okay,
maybe if he can get in front of this and go like, look, I'm going to have this conversation with you right now. Then maybe Tony won't fuck him up, or before Tony fucks him up, he'll have the opportunity to end it. And when Tony said, no problem,
okay,
don't, whatever, no problem. And I mean, by the way, beginning of the episode, when Tony says it's no problem,
we know it's a problem.
Did you for a second think it was no problem?
Well, I mean, he's showing up at Zellman's house.
Well, that's
just randomly.
That's later. I mean,
no. He shows up at Zellman's house like 2 days later to have a meeting and Zellman's like, it would have been a lot easier to have it. He's like, well, I was in the neighborhood, And
honestly, that should have been the moment that Zellman was like, we got to end this, Irina. Like, I know what this, like Tony's saying something without saying it. Like, this, they're.
But also, fuck Tony. Like, what a dickhead, man. He's the one that goes, hey, I can't be what you need. You gotta have a guy that wants a family with you. You gotta have a guy that will protect you. You gotta have a guy that will take care of you. Bing, bam, boom. She finds Zellman. Zellman's a guy. Tony knows he's a good guy in terms that he's corrupt.
But a provider, Tony. Like a provider in some way.
So is this not what you wished for her to have? And then now you're gonna play like the fucking jealousy game?
Look. Most of the time you tell people you can't have your cake and eat it too. But if you tell Tony you can't have your cake and eat it too,
he locks the door and says, no, you just can't leave.
Right.
And Tony goes, eat my cake.
Tony goes, how about this?
Yeah.
I can have my cake. I can eat it too. And if you object,
I'll bash your head
you're
in.
dead.
Yeah.
I'll beat you to death.
Good morning, rat.
Yeah. Then it's like, you can have your cake and eat it too. And I mean, I think this is classic Tony. I mean, this is Tony. This is emotional Tony. This is hypocritical Tony.
Totally.
This is, this is what makes Tony a bad person. And
the
fact that, like, at the end of the episode, he's drunk and he hears the song that he heard earlier in the episode on a radio.
And that song is what plays when Zellman tells him about Rena.
Right. And so he hears the song, so he just shows up at the house. And I mean, the point there is not to hurt Zellman. The point is to humiliate Zellman to whip him with the belt. You could have fucked any girl in New Jersey.
You choose this one.
And he's whipping him with the belt. And it's like, he's humiliating him. But, yeah, I mean, he's getting out all of his feelings. Tony doesn't let go of anything.
Right.
Like, Tony is a predator. Like, nobody is allowed to have that. Like, just because Tony doesn't want it doesn't mean it's available.
And it's not even a thing of, like, to get her back. He
doesn't want to.
Smacks her on the chops and leaves.
Yeah. He's not going to be in her life anymore.
But what pissed me off is it's like, dude, you just made so much fucking money. Like, what are you doing?
That's what makes Tony a bad boss, ultimately, is because he's so emotional and he just thinks he's hot-headed and he's emotional. Of course we know the answer, but realistically, I mean, Tony's one of these guys that I think what he really wants is for Irina to move on, but for her to move on in a way where he never sees her again, where he doesn't have to ever be the bigger man, because Tony is never going to be the bigger man. He's not going to be the bigger man because he's not. Yeah. That's not who he is.
Unless he hops on a scale.
Then, I mean, I couldn't think of
the biggest man.
Aside from Janice.
And Bobby Baklava, God bless their bed frame. That poor bed.
Oof. I hope it's reinforced. I hope it's reinforced.
Hope it's a Casper mattress. Casper. 1-800.
Yeah, we'll get you guys too.
Yeah, Casper Whitman's. That sounds like a guy who's racist in the 1800s.
Yeah, it does. Do you think we're done
Casper Whitman.
Do you think we're actually done with Irina, or do you think we're never done with Irina?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I'm wondering if we're done with Zellman. What the fuck is going to happen?
I don't know. I mean, I know, but I don't know. I'm saying, I know, of course. This is not my Prima Volta.
It's my Prima Volta, and I want to take a Prima guess.
Please guess.
I guess that they will have some sort of business dealing moving forward, but it's not going to be hunky-dory friendship like it was. They're not going to be hanging in a steam room, I'll tell you that much.
No, I mean,
Tony's just such an idiot, man.
Well, think about it this way. If I got upset over something that you did.
Yes.
So I went to your house, and in front of your woman, whoever it was at that point, I started...
What?
I don't know.
No,
it
is Charmaine.
Okay.
Or...
I'm not trying to make it...
Junior's neighbor woman.
The old woman?
Yes.
She seems like a nice lady.
Yeah.
She seems like it'd be good for Junior.
Yeah.
But I start beating you with a belt in front of your woman. And then like a few days...
I mean, let's just backtrack a second. That shit ain't gonna fly.
Well, let's say I'm the boss of New Jersey.
Yeah, well, let's say that ain't happening.
If I'm the boss of New Jersey?
No, you're not, because Tony is, and I'm friends with Tony because I'm in their crew. We go bowling together. We shoot pool. We hang out.
You're Corrado. You know what I mean?
They hang out with me at my house to get me ready for court. So you come over and beat the shit out of me.
And then like 4 days later, I text you and go like, are you coming over for the podcast? It'd be a weird podcast. You know what I mean? It'd be tough.
Oh, I'd come and I'd see you in another way.
Not if I was the boss of New Jersey.
So the boss of New Jersey's doing a podcast?
Well, if the boss of New Jersey can be in therapy, I feel like the 2022 version, wouldn't that be great? Okay, here's the new version of The Sopranos. Let's reboot. And instead of like, here's the hook, the boss of the mob is going to therapy. Okay, here's the hook. He's a mob boss
with a podcast,
but he's got a podcast deal. Hey, T, you're not talking about this on your podcast, are you?
Hey, do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe, and hit up that Patreon. Oh my God. Each tier could be giving away, like, a mob secret.
That's true.
You know?
Where is T? He's vlogging again. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, I just got done sending someone to witness protection. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, or I'll beat the shit out of you.
Hey, T, I noticed you got that housing project. What, are we going to turn it over? No, I'm thinking content house.
We all live in a house.
Yeah, he makes the whole mob move into a content house.
Dude, I mean, that show would get picked up by Bravo in a heartbeat.
100%. 100%. It's Tony Soprano meets David Dobrik.
Oh my God, I don't even know who that is. Who's
Vlogs.
David Dobrik?
Vlog Squad.
What?
Bro,
Huh?
what, you fucking boomer?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm Corrado.
I forgot.
You think Corrado knows about David Dubik?
Oh, and will you be David Dubik?
What's his name? Dubrang?
Dubik, it doesn't matter.
David Dobrik?
And then Corrado is over there going, Tony, my internet doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, he can't-
Tony, I got my hand stuck in the garbage disposal.
And then Tony shows up with a camera.
yeah.
Uncle Jude's in the disposal again, guys.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, that Sopranos content house.
I love it.
That's great.
Well, look, we're going to keep making this content. Of course, we'll be back next week with season 4, episode 8 of The Sopranos. But in the meantime, you can check out Ian Fidance on Twitter and Instagram at iAnimal69.
iAnimal69, yes.
iAnimal69. And you can see if he's performing in your area. He's all in the Comedy Cellar
Yes,
and all over New York all the time.
March 25th, I'm in Elmsford, New York. Going to be a good time. Come on out if you're in the area. It's also kind of near Jersey, too. So, that'll be fun.
It's in the Bestchester.
The Bestchester, yes. April 1st and 2nd, Vermont Comedy Club. Going to be a good time. And thank you guys so much for coming out to shows. I really appreciate it. And every night of the week, I'm at the Comedy Store when I'm out on the road. What a dream. What a life.
And thank also you guys
What
for
do you hear?
coming
What do you
out
say?
to Sam Triali's.
Yes.
And being a part of this. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, leave something nice. Leave a little something in the comments.
Yeah.
A little something in the comments.
Yeah. If you want, leave us a comment in real life with an envelope full of cash.
Or a box of Whitmans.
And don't be short this month.
Not a box of Whitmans? Enough with the Whitmans.
Enough with the Whitmans.
Envelope of cash.
An envelope of cash to get more Whitmans.
Hey, when we're back, I'll be talking about an episode that I've seen many, many times. I don't know about you guys, but for Ian Fidance, it will be his Prima Volta.
Madonna mia, huh? I didn't like that.